My name is Ji-eun. I am 36 years old. I am a mother, a wife, and I once believed I was a stable woman. I live in a small apartment in Seoul with my husband and 2 children. We are not rich, but we are not lacking either. From the outside, my life looks very proper, just the way society expects. Every morning, I wake up before the sun fully rises. The city is still quiet, with only the distant sound of the first bus of the day. I step out of bed gently so I don't wake anyone. In the kitchen, I turn on the light, boil water, and prepare breakfast and lunch boxes: white rice, rolled eggs, kimchi, a bit of stir-fried vegetables. I arrange them neatly in the boxes. Like a habit that has settled deep into my body, my son walks out, his eyes still half closed. Mom, no sausages today. I smile softly. My daughter rummages through the closet looking for her uniform. Mom, this shirt isn't ironed. I put my chopsticks down, go into the room, and take out the iron. My hands move quickly, as if I've done this 1,000 times. My husband leaves the house at 7. He is always in a hurry. I'm heading out. He gently kisses my forehead. A familiar gesture. Thank you for breakfast. Inot. The door closes. The house becomes quiet again. No one asks if I slept enough. No one asks if I'm tired. And I never say anything. My day starts like that. And it ends almost the same way. After taking the kids to school, I go to the market, clean the house, do the laundry, cook, pay bills, call the teachers, and keep track of parent meeting schedules. I have a small notebook in my head, invisible to everyone, but it holds everything. Buimik. Schedule a dental appointment. Wash the winter coats. Prepare a cake for my child's class birthday. I never forget. People say I'm good at managing things. They say I'm capable and devoted. I thought it was a compliment, but gradually, it became a label. My mother often calls, Ji-eun, your aunt is coming over this weekend. Prepare some food. Okay, yes? You make delicious kimchi. Make a bit extra. Yes, my sister-in-law is the same. You're at home anyway. Can you watch my baby for a while? I have something urgent. Yes. Just bring the baby over. Every time I say yes, everything seems to become easier. For others, but not for me. I used to have things I loved. I loved drawing. I loved reading books in cafes. I once signed up for an online design course, but I stopped. I'll continue when I have more free time. I'll wait until the kids are older. That's what I told myself, but someday never came. My days became so repetitive that I could no longer clearly remember what day of the week it was. I eat standing in the kitchen. I sleep with a slight headache. My back hurts. But I think it's normal. One day, while I was washing dishes, my hand trembled slightly. I paused for a moment. Maybe I'm just tired. I continued. The pressure doesn't come from anything big. It comes from hundreds of small things. repeated every day. Mom, I need red paper. Mom, I have to bring food to class tomorrow. Where's my shirt? My husband asks. I answer everything, always. One evening, after everyone had finished eating, I was still standing in the kitchen. The sink was full of dishes. Crumbs were left on the dining table. I looked around. Everything was still fine. But in my mind, there was a very strange feeling, as if something was cracking. That night, I couldn't sleep. My heart was racing. I felt short of breath. I sat up. Holding my chest, nothing terrible had happened. I started to cry, but for everything, "Have you been resting?" I didn't know how to answer. That evening, I stood in the kitchen, like every other day, but this time, I didn't start washing the dishes right away. I looked at my hands, dry fingers, slightly trembling. I couldn't remember the last time I sat down and had a meal in peace. I couldn't remember the last time I did something just for myself. I had always been there for everyone, except myself. The next day, I told my family, "I'm very tired." I said, "We need to change." No one spoke for a few seconds. Then my husband asked, "What do you mean? I can't do everything anymore." My voice wasn't loud, but it was clear. We started dividing the chores. My husband washed the dishes. My son packed his own school bag. My daughter learned how to fold clothes. Things weren't perfect. Sometimes they forgot. Sometimes they did things wrong. But I didn't fix everything immediately like before. A few days later, my sister-in-law called, "Can you help me watch the baby?" I stayed silent for a moment. "No, I can't today." Silence on the other end. "What's wrong with you? You've been acting strange lately." "I'm resting." "You're so selfish." I took a deep breath. "No, I've just neglected myself for too long." I hung up. My hand trembled slightly, but inside, I felt lighter. I started taking walks alone in the afternoon. Just 30 minutes. New to-do list. No one calling my name. I brought a book with me. It had been a long time since I last read. I never stopped loving my family. I still cook. I still take care of my children, but I no longer place myself last. My life didn't become perfect. The house is sometimes messy. Meals are sometimes simple. But I can breathe, and that is enough. One day, I stood in front of the mirror. I looked into my own eyes. Still May, but no longer the woman who exists only to serve others. I used to think that saying no was selfish, but now I understand. Saying no to the things that exhaust you is actually saying yes to your own life. And you? In the list of people you care about, where do you stand?